really bad smell coming from my kitchen. Let me take a look. Okay, looks like your trash is getting pretty full. I'm gonna write you a script for some air freshener so you can spray that around your trash. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. That sounds great. Hey, how's your kitchen been? Well, those air fresheners helped in the beginning, but now it seems like it's getting a lot worse. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna recommend a stronger air freshener this time. Sounds good to me. How's the kitchen doing? Really, really not good. I mean, the air freshener helps a little bit, but now it's starting to overflow and I can barely walk into my kitchen. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you a stronger air freshener, a second trash bin. That way we can put the trash that's overflowing in that other trash bin. Okay. Why don't we just take the trash out?
Of course, I don't know why that she didn't just take the trash out to begin with. But anyway, this is a great example of what we call the straw man logical fallacy, right? You have this kind of ridiculous cardboard, whatever, choose your material, fictional sort of representation of what you're trying to argue against, rather than dealing with the reality of the way things actually are, right? So the idea here is that, and this has been a claim of holistic medicine proponents forever, that conventional physicians just treat symptoms rather than addressing the true underlying cause. And this is trying to make a humorous analogy. It's like, yeah, if you had garbage piling up in your kitchen, they would recommend an air freshener, which of course is silly. Even if you're saying that, well, the garbage is metaphorical. So the idea there is that mainstream medicine doesn't include trying to deal with the actual cause of your symptoms. Of course it does. In fact, the scientific approach is the only approach that tries to understand at a scientific reductionist level what's actually causing problems. In fact, scientific medicine is the only approach that has ever done that. Right, that has ever actually figured out and understood what's actually happening, and then try to fashion treatments which address the actual cause of your symptoms. You know, like if you have a bacterial infection, you prescribe an antibiotic in order to kill the pathological bacteria. Or if you have diabetes, what is the first thing that any physician who knows what they're doing would do? We would go over your lifestyle factors, make sure that you are exercising, go over your diet with you, talk about weight control, etc. They also know, however, that there's a genetic component, so they would talk about your family history, right? That's, hygiene, lifestyle, basic things like that are always the first level that we do. That's just basic good medicine. But the holistic proponents have to create this fiction, right, based upon just their own imaginings that physicians only treat symptoms and not causes. It's not true, complete straw man. And they say, well, we're addressing the real causes, right? But they're not. They're generally affecting fake causes that they made up, right? They're not the real things because scientists are finding out and addressing the real causes of disease. So they make up fake causes so that they can then sell you a fake treatment to treat the fake causes that they made up. But it all is meant to sound nice because basically they're engaged in clever marketing, not in actual healthcare. Because if you're engaged in good faith healthcare, you want to know what's really going on. You want to be critical and skeptical of your own claims and your own beliefs, not take things for granted. And you want to do due diligence and get objective information, not present yourself as a guru who somehow magically has all the answers, even though you've never been able to prove that your answers are correct by, publishing them in peer-reviewed journals, for example. So if they actually had answers, they would be able to prove it, and everybody would know the answers, and they would be common practice. But you don't have the answers, then you lie about the other side, right? You make up these, straw man, ridiculous fallacies about them, and then pretend like you somehow magically have the answers. Unfortunately, as a marketing strategy, this can be very effective because you're telling people basically what they want to hear. You're also, selling them on simplistic solutions to complicated problems. Rather than having to tell the people the truth, like, well, this is complicated. There's a lot of causes. These are the things we can address. These are the things we can't, et cetera, et cetera. It is complicated because biology is complicated. People are complicated. There are often no simple solutions. The ones that exist, everyone's doing them because if they're simple and they're true and they're basic hygiene, like taking out the trash. Of course, we're going to take out the trash, whatever the metaphor you think that is a metaphor for. That's that's just basic good common sense, let alone good clinical medicine. So don't believe nonsense like this. This is a marketing strategy generally trying to get you to buy nonsense. Don't so easily believe, again, ridiculous straw men about other people. The notion that, yeah, all of these thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people who have dedicated their life to studying biology and studying medicine and being good at practicing clinical medicine, they're all wrong. They're somehow all magically wrong. And things that are blatantly obvious to the person watching this video, she's like, oh, my mind is blown how obvious this is. Yes, it's so obvious that thousands of experts somehow missed it. It makes no sense. You then have to retreat to the conspiracy theory. It's like, well, they're not dumb. They're all in on it for the money. It's like, yeah, have you ever actually spoken to a doctor or a healthcare professional in every country? Because that's what you're talking about, not just one bad apple or one subculture. You're saying that pretty much all practitioners everywhere in every country, even ones that don't make money off the practice of medicine, they're all in on it, right? Even if you practice in the UK where you're salaried, or you're an academic who's salaried and is not making money off the direct practice of medicine, like me, for example, totally salaried. I don't get reimbursed specifically for what I do. That we're somehow all in on this big con or big conspiracy theory, or we're just so dumb we don't know like basic hygiene. If it sounds really simple and stupid, it's probably not true.